so we're gonna start our second session of Lobby Talks, the one where we're not covering E3 like we promised about a year ago, because that shit didn't happen. Not E3. E3 did happen, but us being consistent and reliable did not. So I'm your host, maybe. I'm your host, Valen Lucas. We got Garf Knuckle or Hecatopter, Marcus, a guy, hopefully, and we got Ben Grimpire or Goopire,
or just Goo,
or
Boo
Boo.
Boy. Boo. What?
Yep. Hey, Boo.
Hey.
And so we're gonna be talking about our most disappointing games, like games that we were all hyped to play, to check out, and then we played it and we were like, hell no, bro. And we put that shit to rest. Starting it off, we're gonna have Marcus, Hecatopter.
Hello. So, it's kind of a tough choice. Obviously, there's a lot of games that I have picked up and looked at, played a little bit, and was like excited for it. And then I played it and never wanted to touch it again. But the one I decided to choose was For Honor, because I still remember the E3 trailers and stuff and the first gameplay, and it was so fluid. And I finally had disposable income, and I was like, hell yeah. Everybody at my workplace too was hyped for it too, which also contributed.
Everybody was interested in the fucking game.
It's because it looked good.
It was like such a fucking hype train for it. It's ridiculous.
And I had just started on a kick of collector's editions because I'm like, money, fuck it. So I bought the Apollyon collector's edition for For Honor, and that was like, I think $200. And I don't ever want to do that again. Not that I could right now, but still. Going in there, I walked into...
Well, I gotta go for you real quick.
Okay.
Has that soured you buying collector's editions, in the future, or?
Yeah, definitely the big box collector's edition. The only, I think there were two big collector's editions that I did buy at that time.
It was that one and Horizon, right?
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, and I don't have them anymore.
That's a lot of money just to throw down to never...
Yeah, it is, isn't it? The only other collector's edition I did get around that time, I actually stand by as a really good collector's edition, which was Sonic Mania. But,
okay. Well, what exactly about For Honor pissed you off, though?
A lot of it was the money, the overhyping, and then when I played it, at the beginning of For Honor, as I understand, they changed it now. There were no tutorials. It was just like, hey, we talked a lot about our convoluted battle system and how cool it's going to be. Use it. And they never told you how to use it. So I was
figure it out.
Yeah, I was working full-time at the time. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to figure it out. Now, Gooby,
Me.
also had For Honor at around that time.
Well, Ben, how was your experience with it?
I had enjoyable time with it. Partly because it was kind of easy for me to pick up. Where Marcus said there wasn't a tutorial, there was at the time. It was just you were in combat as the tutorial was playing. So if you're not used to like games giving you information while you're having to deal with someone trying to stab you to death, it's hard to read that stuff.
To be
You
fair,
had
I
a good time with it?
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Sorry. Ben,
What? Can you
you had a
repeat
good
that?
time with it?
Yeah. I still play it today.
No shit.
To be fair, like they toted the combat system, and still is, as I understand it, unlike any other combat system. So it's kind of. I actually do remember the tutorial because you're playing as like the Viking dude, but it's kind of discouraging to try and learn. You want to get past it when you're just trying to learn, and someone comes up and thwacks you with the sword, and it's like, fuck.
Did you get the shit kicked out of you the entire time?
Yeah. The other aspect of it was I was working full time, 9 to 5, barely had a whole lot of time, barely time like days off consecutively. So the like pinnacle moment that I put it down was playing through the first mission with Grim, and I think he had already completed the main campaign, or at least was close to it. And I remember fighting the first boss, which is like on a cart or something, like a battering ram. And I kept dying, and Ben wasn't even like breaking a sweat, and he's like, "Oh no, it's fine, it's fine." It's like I don't have the time to commit to this collector's edition that I spent $200 on because it had like season pass stuff, and it's like, well, I won't even be able to reap the rewards of it because A, I can't play, and B, when I am playing, I haven't learned, and I'm just straight cheeks at it. So it was a lot of that. A lot of it was my own like issues with time, and a lot of it was biased with money. But like, I was so excited for that game. It looked beautiful. The original
It still
story
looks
trailer.
beautiful, in all fairness.
Yeah.
And the concept is kind of neat. Like, you just pick these warriors, you fight. It's like every mobile game
Yeah.
in existence.
It's
but
Raid,
like,
it's
it was just
it's better
better.
than Raid Shadow Legends. But
So-
it's a lot. See, the game came out like what, freaking years later for free on PS Plus, and I was like, hey, I'll give it another try now that I'm not dropping $200 on it. To be fair, when I started it up, it remembered that I had that season pass, and I got way more resources than I knew what to do with. Like, as soon as I logged on, it was weird.
They're like,
But-
hey, here's a bunch of free shit.
Yeah, and then I gave it a try again, and was like, okay, I understand a bit more. But I just still couldn't do it.
I
To
got
justify a game that you A, have a bad history with, B, you have a hard time playing, and try to justify keeping that like 60 freaking gigabytes on your PS4, as opposed to a game that you know you are good at, know you have the time to do, and know that you enjoy playing, you know?
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
It was just a bunch of bad decisions on my part, and a
Well,
failure
that
to
just
learn.
sticks with the game. You're just like, well, fuck this now, you know?
Yes, I know. I know very well.
See-
I've got several games like that, but none of them really kind of reached that sting as much as For Honor for me.
Do you remember if we started off on which campaign that we started off on? Because I know you wanted to be a Viking.
We started on for the story campaign. It was the Knights.
Okay.
Yeah, you were the warden, I think it is.
Yeah, you play the warden as the knights. Because I'm trying to remember the boss you were thinking of, and I think what we did is we played a little bit of the story to get you familiar, and then we jumped into a computer match.
Yeah,
You could just
probably.
go ham on stuff. Because there's no RAMs that I could remember, but
It's been freaking years since I've done that, so to
yeah.
be fair. And it's weird because like the character of the warden, if I remember, they're really like beginner friendly.
Yeah.
And when I played it years later, when it was on PS Plus, I picked up the character as the Nobushi, which is like this chick with like a naginata, and she is notoriously not beginner friendly, and I felt as though I did much better. It's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah. See, For Honor's changed since then, since those days. Like they have battle passes now that you can buy to get crazy rewards, and then they're always doing events. Like constantly. We had a Prince of Persia one like last month. It was like, oh, okay.
Oh, does that mean there's gonna be a new freaking Prince of Persia game?
I don't know.
That'd be kind of cool.
Possibly. But like you could get the Dagger of Time and send fucking magic at your enemies, freeze them in place. It's like, this is bullshit.
Well, I would imagine so when they're like realistic war. I'm gonna shoot some time magic at people. Like I know it's changed, and that's also part of what contributed to it. Because like when I re-downloaded it and was trying to learn it when I had more time and stuff, the skill gap and I don't know, gear gap. There's just so much new shit, and the ceiling of it had raised so much that then it's like, oh, okay, so not only would I have to learn as fast as possible, but then catch up as fast as possible, and
Well, how was the? Oh no, sorry, you can finish.
oh, it's
I was
just
just
like
wondering how the what is it? How was the multiplayer?
I don't know. I personally hate like PvP type multiplayer. I prefer cooperative games, so because like I'm not a fan of possibly being featured as someone's Twitch inside joke, but maybe that's just me being paranoid. But I don't know. I like cooperative games more, so I couldn't answer that. That'd be a question for Grim.
Let's see. When it first came out, the multiplayer was shit. It was absolute garbage. Because for every character, they have movesets that you can combo into. So, the Nobushi could just stun lock you to death, or you get like an assassin class like the Peacekeeper, and they just shank you in the kidney, so you're dead. And you'd get placed against people that are like good at fighting games, so they can remember all these different moves and how they combo into each other. 'Cause at the time, there was no training. There was no training to learn your character. You just played.
And there was like no meta yet either.
Yeah. So you'd get like you'd be fighting somebody, and then their whole team would show up and kill you. So it'd be a 4-on-1. And they gave you like a revenge mode where like if you had too many people on you, you get like a buff of like super damage and health, and you knock everyone back. But it never helped because
someone would
knock
just
you
run
out.
up and shank you in the kidney.
And then recently, so they've changed it now. Now you have gear score and tier level. So you can get like mythic, which is the highest you can go, 180. And you'll get placed against people with your gear score. But it's still shit. because it's like a fighting game. If somebody knows how to do all their moves better than you, you're gonna die, regardless.
Yeah, I can see that. Because playing as the Nobushi, I know Ben said it was just like stun lock, stun lock, stun lock. And I'm sure it was. But when I was playing it, like, more recently, I noticed it was a lot of, like, feints and different, like, timing and animation canceling. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah. I know how to do a Shoryuken. Can't really do much else, so you just lose.
Yeah.
Unless if you want to be like, I don't know, picking Reptile in Mortal Kombat and just kicking. Because I mean, who would do that, right? Or Sub-Zero, just using your freeze thing constantly.
What? Hey now.
I mean, they added 2 characters.
I am the best with Sub-Zero.
Let's take a moment real quick. A moment of silence and respect for how good Lucas is at Sub-Zero.
Thank you.
But
okay, continue, Ben.
they added 2 characters that were basically just fighting game characters.
Naga, the Dragon King?
No. They added
Ragnar the Blood Edge?
No.
Ivy Valentine? Go ahead, sorry.
I'm happy for you guys that you know all these characters. I'm struggling here to remember like where they come from. They added the where are they? The Shinobi and the Centurion, and they're basically fighting game characters because you hit light attack or heavy attack, and you just move the joystick. You don't have to like hit anything else. Like you don't have to hit square for blocks. And they jump, they trip you up, they jump on you, they stab you in the face. And they added that because a lot of people were like, oh, like certain characters are just fighting game characters, like the Nobushi, because you would just have like they do a bleed move. Them and the Peacekeeper, and bleed is a damage over time, so they just hit you with a dot and they run away. You can't heal from it.
Yeah, you know, the age-old fighting game tradition. That's
Chipping.
not... Yeah, well, chipping is a thing, but there's no... As far as I know, there's no, like, dots in a whole lot of fighting games, so...
Yeah, I've seen a few, actually.
Oh, like, what, Deadly Alliance?
Even Mortal Kombat X.
I'm leaving.
I think the best thing that they've done recently for the game, for multiplayer, is that they made it so you can play strictly against computers.
But then that's not really like a cooperative mode. Are you with the team fighting against?
Yeah, so you can make it so you can just play with a team of computers against a team of computers, or you can play with friends against a team of computers. So it can be more of like a casual, just sit there, kill some bots, talk with your friends game, instead of like I need to concentrate because these guys know what they're doing, and I'm getting anally raped.
I'm a little baby.
Demonetized.
We weren't monetized in the first
No,
place.
we never were.
We would have lost it already. Like,
Hey, this is our second episode of Lobby Talks, and it's so useless. No one's ever watched the first one.
That's fair. That's fair.
A year ago.
But
Anyway.
I know the mode Grim's talking about because when I was playing it, like I said, more recently and trying to learn Nobushi, that's what I did. Was I set up me and a team of computers against a team of computers, and I did 100 matches in a row. Now a match was like freaking best of like the first to 20 kills.
Yeah.
I did 100 of those, and I still was like, I don't know if I can do this game.
Damn.
Yeah. For contrast, like, I can do that for Smash Bros. And learn a character and have fun with it, right? But no, not For Honor, because it was like, it's stressful. because you'll like miss one of the three like the three positions where it's like top, bottom left, bottom right. You'll like miss it once, and then the punishes of it are just steep, and
I gotcha.
not a fan of that. I am a fan of that, but not in that type of context, I guess.
No, I gotcha. Well, let's move on. Let's see. Let's go with Ben. Ben, what was your pick?
I choose a game from a franchise that I really enjoy, that I know a lot about, and I was really hyped for it when I heard that it was coming out. You know, I had it on Xbox. It was fun. I was hoping it was going to be fun. I chose Silent Hill 4, The Room.
Oh, jeez.
It wasn't fun, was it?
It was maddening. This game, I hate this game. Just to put it
Why?
Okay, so Silent Hill, up to the point, was always in Silent Hill. Okay,
Okay.
you were always in Silent Hill. You know, name of the game. And a lot of the thing about Silent Hill games is yeah, you're in Silent Hill, and it's some weird demon world thing. Every time it goes into demon world, it has something to do with your character.
Okay,
Right?
yeah, I mean, all the horrors personalized. I get it.
One, it's things are misty and foggy because your character's scared for his daughter. Two, it's all sick, gross because your character's he kills his wife because she's sick.
And
Three,
gross.
it's horrifying. It's bloody. It's because you are the reincarnation of a god.
Real quick, so didn't Silent Hill 3 also have all the imagery of sexual and a growing up and stuff because you're playing a teenage girl?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it exactly.
Okay,
So-
sorry.
When 4 came out, 4 doesn't have any of that. 4 is about a guy stuck in his room.
Didn't 4 have the belching nurses?
Yeah, which weren't even nurses. They're patients for a hospital. They didn't have nurses in the game. They had patients. It's
No nurses. Maybe
So-
that's what there were so many patients.
so 4 starts off in first-person mode in your apartment. That's a whole different game style right there. Because Silent Hill is strictly third person. So
Wasn't it a very dinky apartment too?
yeah, it was 3 rooms. You got your kitchen, living room, a bathroom, a guest room, and your room.
So it should have been called Silent Hill: The Three Rooms.
Pretty much.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
then, so it starts off in your room. To progress the game, you have to go through weird ass holes that appear in your walls in different areas in your room that lead to what's supposed to be the other world, the demon world that you would go into normally in Silent Hill. That would happen whenever a siren go off.
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen in the room. You kind of just go into holes, and then you're in some fucking crazy ass world.
I got another joke that I have to get out of me. I'm sorry.
Go
So-
ahead.
So they're not glory holes. They're gory holes.
Yeah.
Should I leave again?
No.
No.
No. You're fine.
Okay.
So you have to do that as you go through the game. Normally, there's save points in Silent Hill
Yeah.
throughout the game. The only save point in 4 is the room.
So you got to go home every time you want to save it.
Yeah, and the holes, there are shortcuts back to the hole, but there aren't multiple holes for a level.
Ah.
when you save, do enemies respawn?
No.
Okay, thank God.
No.
So it's like that'd be agonizing. Trying to imagine like Resident Evil's typewriter system, except you're like, wow, I just killed that hunter or whatever. Better type up my save file. Step out, and you're like, shit.
Now, there's a reason why enemies don't respawn, because normally in Silent Hill, if you saved, enemies would respawn, but this one they didn't. And there's 3 reasons I can think of. One, enemies do ridiculous damage in this game. Half the enemies won't even attack you. They'll just look at you, say some shit, and let you go by. They'll only attack you if you provoke them.
So they do emotional damage.
Pretty much. Like, there's a 2-headed, 2-armed, like, baby-looking enemy, which is supposed to be a reincarnation of the antagonist's first victims. And they'll point at you, and they'll say something, but as long as you don't attack them, they'll let you run right on by. It's like, okay, whatever.
Just talking shit?
They'll kill you in, like, 3 hits, though.
Oh.
The second reason, Silent Hill 4 has a bunch of melee weapons. It has like axes, pipes, wrenches, bats, you know. There's all these cool ass melee weapons. It has 2 guns. Which is weird, because normally Silent Hill has more than 2 guns. The problem is your melee weapons break over time.
Oh, I fucking hate that. I fucking hate that mechanic. I have always hated that mechanic.
Oh god, that's awful. That mechanic in like a survival horror game would be awful.
Yes. Like every other Silent Hill, you could swing a knife all day and it would never chip. And this one, it breaks pretty fucking fast. And your alternative is a gun, right? It's like, yeah, a gun. Well, here's the problem: you get a gun, and enemies. If you ever hold a gun, enemies will automatically aggro you. So you take the risk of: do I run through certain areas and don't do combat and play it safe, or do I waste all my ammo because all my melee weapons are broken?
Yeah. Do I get 3 shots slapped by a baby face thing?
Yeah. And the third reason is because of your NPC follower that you can get halfway through the game, which is your neighbor in the apartment. So yeah, so in the game, you have a radio in your room, and it tells you events that happen in the actual world. So, like, the first level, you find a girl named Maria, I believe. Like, Maria Vasquez, I think.
Vasquez.
And, like, your character is like, cool, I'll save you, we'll leave together. You leave for a little bit, and you come back, and she's been murdered. So you go back to your apartment, and it plays on the radio that they found her body in a subway, which was where the world was taking place at.
Okay.
But your character doesn't really care. Your character is emotionless.
What a piece of crap.
So, like, you find her. She's clearly a hooker because she's trying to get with him. And he's like, okay, I will get us out of here. And then he leaves to go activate a generator. And he comes back and she's dying on the floor. And she's like, you have an easier time sticking it in me. And he's all like, I guess so. And then she dies, and he doesn't even he doesn't react to anything. He sees a man get lit on fire in front of him, screaming for help, and he's just sitting there like, yeah,
that takes you out of the game pretty freaking fast too.
And people hated the protagonist from Silent Hill, Homecoming and Downpour, I think it was.
Yeah.
They're not compelling, and this shit sucker is just like, I guess so.
So it's like halfway through the game, your neighbor almost gets murdered. By the way, your character is also a pervert because he has a peephole in his room to his neighbor, and that to progress the game, you have to watch her get changed. like putting on pants. I'm like, what?
I
that's
was
weird.
joking about the glory hole thing.
Yeah.
Son of a.
But so she almost gets murdered. So when you find her, she's in a hospital. Her arm's in a sling. She has a bandage over one eye. She limps everywhere. And you have to get her from point A to point B through the rest of the game. She's with you for like the rest of the game to almost the end when she gets kidnapped. Now you can rectify this because you can give her a weapon. She can help you combat. If you give her a melee weapon, they never break. If you give her a gun, she gets possessed.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there are ghosts in the game, and they possess her if they attack her too much. They possess her, she starts to attack you. You then have to use a charm to purify her, basically. Charms break really easily, and there's only so many of them.
So, what I'm hearing is you give her a melee weapon because at that point it doesn't break. But then, oh no, you have to hold the gun, and now the baby
Everything-
slap arms comes and tries to mess you up.
Yeah, everything's then trying to murder you. So, okay, you give her a melee weapon.
Okay.
She attacks everything though.
And
And if you want,
AIs?
yeah, if you want a good ending, it's dependent on how much damage she takes from the halfway point of the game to the end. If she takes too much damage, you're getting a bad ending, regardless of what you've done. So, like, there's that. Great. Awesome. This is bullshit.
No, it's not awesome. It is. It's bullshit.
So, partway through the game, after you find Maria, I think, I don't remember her name, your companion, I don't want to remember her name, Ellie, I think, something fucking stupid, I don't remember.
All right.
I hate this game. You learn that, like, you and her are supposed to be sacrificial victims to bring Silent Hill to this new world of Ashfield, which is where the room takes place. It's like, oh, okay, whatever, I guess. And you're going around, and you see all these ghosts, and ghosts can kill you instantly. They can grab your heart and kill you. It's like, oh, I'm dead now, I guess.
I mean, that's the way a ghost should kill. Honestly, they're like,
I'm gonna scare this person with their computer because I'm feeling mean when they could just be like, I'm gonna grab your heart.
So,
Honestly.
like, you have to go and get, like, a sword or purifying talisman and go to every previous area you've been to and exercise them, basically. If you have the sword, you stab them, and then they become dead bodies. It's like, okay. It's
you
like,
stab ghosts and they like become corporeal.
well, not like ghosts. They have bodies and they float, but they can
Okay.
move through things.
Okay.
It's weird. They call them ghosts. Really, they're just kind of like floating bodies.
Okay.
And it's like you find every single person that you've watched die through the game so far, including of like the 13 people who have died before the game, and you have to stab all of them with a fucking sword so they become bodies, so you can go fight the antagonist at the end. The antagonist is really the only good part of the game, because he's mentioned in every other game.
Really?
Yes, he's mentioned in one with a clipping. They're always newspaper clippings. But it's like about an orphanage he was going to. In 2, it's about how he is in jail for murdering people in the orphanage. And 3, it's about his latest victims being like 2 twins, which are the twin baby monster in this one that can kill you in 3 hits.
Mm-hmm. Shit talking baby smacker.
Yeah, and it's like you'll see him through the game in two versions. There's like a child version and an adult version. The
Hey,
child
doesn't
version
he
is
like he
always
give you a doll or something that kind of fucks you over, or is that someone else?
I think that's a different one.
Is like I know someone gives you a doll that like hurts you every time you open up the item box.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, that might be that one.
You just look at the doll and you're like, ah!
It's
Well,
like,
like it makes little screaming babies pop up on your wall that just hurt you, I guess.
yeah. So, yeah, that sounds familiar. I don't remember. I don't
You don't want to remember.
remember. But it's like he has two versions. He has his child and adult version. The child is a pacifist. You'll see the child, your character will be like, oh, kid. And then you follow the kid, and it takes you to where you need to go. The adult has like dual pistols, and he'll attack you, and you can't damage him, so you gotta run until you're in a different screen that he can't. That you're not in the same screen with him, and then he disappears. It's like, fuck.
What? I don't know.
So
Guns aren't effective unless they're enemy guns.
yeah.
That's dumb. You know
And
the sad thing is the Room was my very first Silent Hill I ever played,
I'm sorry.
and I remember I was so frustrated because I couldn't really figure out how to attack with the melee weapons, and I died, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this game. Fuck this franchise. Fuck the movie. Even I'm fucking mad. I'm so done.
Didn't you play that at Dad's or something?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, because that was my first time playing Devil May Cry as well, and I was like, this game's awesome. I can't get past the first enemy encounter.
I know. Like my first time playing Silent, because I was like, hey, I use an action replay to beat all the Resident Evils. Why the hell can't I beat Silent Hill? Right?
Without any cheats.
Without
Yeah.
any cheats or any basic understanding about the franchise. I fucking got this. Little old me's all proud and shit. And then it's like I tried and I was like, wow, this game is hot ass. Like,
No, it's cold ass.
and then I remember I played Homecoming, which everyone shits on, and I was like, yeah, actually, this one's not too bad. I kind of dig Homecoming. It has a kind of a vibe to it. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's
yeah.
kinda eerie.
Downpour, and also enjoyed Downpour until you got to a part where the game glitched on you, and you're like, fuck, when was the last time I saved?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm saving this one for Ben.
Yeah.
It's like, so combat in 4 was different because you had, in every other Silent Hill, you had a heavy attack and a light attack. In this one, you have those also, but you can hold a light attack to do like a faster light attack, or hold a heavy attack to do a harder hit.
So
It
I
breaks
got a
your
question
Shit
real quick.
faster.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
My question is, it seems like with my game, For Honor, what I didn't like about it was the gameplay of it. But from what I was hearing so far about you with Silent Hill, The Room, was that you had a huge problem with like the story beats and characters, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Hmm.
So, your room, right? Because combat
Yeah.
takes place in your room, even. Your
How does the
room.
combat take place in your room?
So, remember when I said ghosts can possess you?
Yeah.
If ghosts possess you, when you go back to your room, they will be in your room, trying to come out of your wall. And they will damage you constantly until you die, unless you light an exercising candle under them, in which case then they disappear. Your room is supposed to be your safe haven. You know, your safe spot is supposed to be nothing can damage you in there. When your safe haven it can be compromised and you're low on health, you're like, I need to go back to my room, because every time you go back to your room, you get full health. Go back to your room, and there's a ghost right when you come out, and you die. There's nothing you can really do. And then you have to reload your save, which is probably at the beginning of the level.
Oh Lord. So like that can be that can be leveraged as an effective horror game tool, but not like that. Like what was it? Resident Evil 2, the remake?
Yeah.
where Mr. X busts into one save room, but that save room was designed to not be safe.
Yeah.
Granted, you had no prior knowledge of that, but he can't do that to every save room, right? But
Yeah.
what I'm hearing is like, oh, a ghost wants to scare you and kill you, but now your room's just fucked.
Yeah. And then it's like at the end of the game, when you finally go to Silent Hill, when you're finally in Silent Hill, the last area, it's your room. Your room connects into Silent Hill. You go through your front door to end up in Silent Hill. I'm like,
What?
why? Why would you change it? Why would you not just make another hole to go to Silent Hill? The entirety of the rest of the games has been Ashfield or outskirts of Silent Hill. Why suddenly are we now in Silent Hill? Game.
Yeah, like, that makes no sense. So
And why-
your room is like the freaking Willy Wonka elevator?
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't make sense because it's still your room. You can go in your room still and save, but you're in third person now. You can see out the windows and see real world, but you go out your front door and suddenly you have demon realm. It's like, what? What kind of concept is this?
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That-
odd.
That I can see the disdain. What's yours, Lucas?
You know, I got two. One that I settled on and one that I just remembered while Ben was talking. But my major one that I can't even describe. I'm going to actually. I'm going to describe
You
how
better.
much it disappointed me. And you know this one. You know this one. Because I had you try it out too. It was MK11. Man, I was so fucking hyped for this game. I remember the trailers come out. There was that one where it was like Scorpion fighting Raiden. I was like, alright. You killed my boy, but he killed you. So you know what? We good. We good, fam. And I had this shitty rap. Whatever. Whatever. And then the story trailer came out. I'm like, okay. MKX's story was fucking fun. MK9's was not nearly as fun because Shao Kahn's a dick. But, I dig it.
Know.
The
Okay.
graphics looked good. Bringing past characters back, whatever. Time travel's whack, but, I'll give it a shot. MKX is really good,
But-
right?
Yeah, the trailer was amazing because it was like a freaking. You could tell it was like a buddy cop freaking
Yeah.
movie almost.
I was like, okay, you got Johnny Cage. He's being his sarcastic self, and he doesn't even like himself. Like, no one else likes him anyway. It's just like, all right, I'm digging it. And then, so when Sonya's put on the screen, she's voiced by Ronda Rousey. Man, horrible voice actress, and all her deliveries awkward as hell.
Because she's not an actress.
She's not a voice actress. She's not a regular actor. And I get it. She's buff. She's this blonde lady. She's a fighter like Sonya. I get why. But no, like, you gotta have some kind of quality.
Yeah.
And man, when I actually played the story, because that's what I was hyped for.
Mhm.
I was like, all right, you know what? Whatever. I'll play the story. I got to actually playing the game. I'm like, okay, this is not nearly as fluid. It's probably more fluid. It's more technical than MKX. MKX is just like fast and aggressive. I dug it because you just go out there, you fucking attack. But MK11, it just felt more technical, more slow, more.
MKX, as I understand it, was a game that you could just pick up and play. But if you wanted to master it, then you could get into the technical side of it.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Like Smash Bros. Anyone can pick up and play and have fun, hopefully. But comparing Smash Bros. To something like, I don't know, Blaze Blue Cross Team Battle as a fighting game. No, you don't do it. You'll pop in that game and you're like, how come? What the fuck is all this?
Yeah, I'm not the best at fighting games. I've never been the best at fighting games. I'm the best at Sub-Zero. I'll take Sonic Fox on, who's like some badass fighting game dude. I'll take him on. I'll beat his ass. All right, I'll beat his ass. I'm the best at Sub-Zero.
I'd laugh if this game or this video got popular and Sonic Fox was like, okay, and you're like, no, we cool, fam, we cool.
No, I'll take his ass on. I'll fuck him up in
Okay.
real life because I'm not beating him in Mortal Kombat. There's no way.
All right.
I will physically assault him. All right.
I'm kidding.
I'm not bullying YouTube. Anyway, but it's like I'm trying to play the game. It's not flowing well. It's not as easy to pick up and just have fun with. I mean, they have tutorials that teach you like the frames and all this. It's like, why? I just want to pick up this game and fucking have fun. I want to invite people over and we'll just beat each other up. And
I want to have as much fun as the story is presenting itself to be.
Exactly. I was like, and then I tried to get Alexis to play it, and she was like, "Nah, just put in X again because that one's actually fun." I'm like, "Man, you're fucking right." Like, okay, back to the story. Sorry, right? I'm gonna spoil the shit out of the story. I don't give a fuck. So, you play it, cool. Raiden's being evil, cool. I dig it. Dig evil Raiden. I was hoping like we'd fight Onaga, the Dragon King, or some shit like that. Hell yeah. That's what I was all excited for. I knew Kronika was in it, but, you know, okay, whatever. So you play it.
Maybe she'll turn into Kronaga, the Dragon Queen.
Maybe. That would have been cool. I would have been okay with that. But no. It starts off and Evil Raiden's like, hey, I'm evil. Let's go fuck up evil Liu Kang. I'm like, okay. And then Sonya just dies. Just out of nowhere. She just dies.
Because they
We're like,
realized
okay.
Ronda Rousey was had voice actions.
Maybe.
Probably.
Because there's like, we're gonna attack this. Oh, I'm gonna blow up. I guess I'm gonna die. Hey, bye everyone. And they're just like, okay, well,
Bye.
my mama died. Cassie looks better in this one. She actually has long hair. She doesn't look like a weird. She looked weird in X.
She
I
looked
hate
like
Cassie.
someone who would be like in an EDM concert.
Exactly. I didn't dig it, but she looks cool in this one. So you play it, Sonya dies, Raiden's like, yeah, fuck it, whatever, Sonya's dead, and everyone's like, dude, Raiden, you're a dick. And then just Raiden vanishes. Because old people came back. Because Kronika wanted other people. So evil Raiden's only there for like one chapter. And then good Raiden comes back, is like, hey, well, this is weird, I'm sorry about Sonya. I'm sorry about everything. I'm sorry about this game.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, like, the entire game. Okay, so the only parts that I enjoyed were playing as Scorpion and Sub-Zero, right? Because, like, you play as Scorpion Sub-Zero, you go in and you fight the Cyberlink way. Cool. Cool, whatever. Even then, you get to pick if you want to play as Scorpion or Sub-Zero in certain moments, so you get to see a different story based on who you pick. And, of course, I pick Scorpion because, you know, I'm awesome Scorpion. I'm trying to get as good at him as I am with Sub-Zero, and it's just not working.
Yeah, if you chose Sub-Zero, you'd beat the game.
It would have just ended right there.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. But it's like I'm playing it, and it's like, okay, I this part's fun. This part's cool. The cutscene action, that's pretty cool. And then Scorpion dies. I'm like, what? And
Yeah,
we both got punked. We both got punked the exact same way.
Yeah.
MKX, Devora kills Melina. MK11, Devora
still-
kills Scorpion. I'm like, you fucking bitch.
Like if you cry every time.
Pretty much. I was like, this fucking nasty hoe just killed both of our favorite characters.
Wait, so I understand in the story the collector as well talks to Devora and it's like, where's Farah Tor? And she's like, I killed it. And it's like off screen. So R.I.P. to Farah Tor mains too.
I know. Like I'm like,
What an awful, awful lady.
and even then Shao Kahn, like, all right, bring Shao Kahn back. Cool, I dig it. He was such a dick in MK9. He was such a dick. Unless you're playing as Raiden and then you teleport behind him and you slap him. As long as it's on easy mode, you got the win. But even it took me tries, okay?
Oh, I
That
know.
YouTube plays. Everyone go check it out. No, that shit took, especially Liu Kang, that took me fucking hours.
Then you got it flawlessly one time and realized there was an audio dub issue, and you're like,
Oh.
fuck it.
Yeah, we kept it. You can see it. It's in the final video. Anyway. Anyway.
Like, comment.
I don't even know where I was going. Okay, yeah, Shao Kahn. Badass. And MK11, like, he's a joke. Everyone beats his ass except for Kotal, because Kotal just gets his ass beat everywhere he goes. But it's like, Shao Kahn's like, I'm back in my prime. I lost. Ooh, I keep losing. Ooh, Katana, whoop my ass, cut my throat, guess I'm dead. And that was that.
What do you think was in that dish? Do you think it was cheese?
That's pretty much exactly how it went. I was like, why even bring him back? Why even put him in the story if you're just gonna kill him like that? Like,
and they made his design
like
look so cool. So it's like you wanted him to kick ass.
Yeah. I was like, all right, Shao Kahn's like a fucking threat, and then he wasn't. Not even a little bit. I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's just like, I remember I played the game, I beat it. I was like, okay, well maybe I should try a tower, you know? And then I went to the crypt. I was like, okay, I didn't unlock anything I actually wanted. And the crypt's cool, it's like its own little puzzle. You pick up items to get to other areas and shit like that. But then, and they changed this since when I played, but there was like 4 different currency types, like a fucking mobile game, and they wanted you to purchase shit to unlock the shit you wanted, and I'm like, no. And you have to unlock special moves by fucking buying them and grinding. Like, no! Fuck no, I paid you 60 fucking bucks to pick up the damn game, to play the fucking game.
And you won't even let me do that. Yeah, I have to learn these technical fighting game skills.
There's weeks I work fucking 5 to 6 days a week in 12-hour shifts. I'm not gonna come home, grind the shit out of MK11 to make Scorpion purple and do one move. Like, no, are you fucking kidding me?
So
I was so fucking mad. I'm still mad. Fuck this game.
Well, like, okay, so it seems like to appeal to Evo and like the fighting game people, which is fine. Like that is a real good niche to appeal to if you're a fighting game, right?
It is.
They seem to have forgotten what made Mortal Kombat popular, even in the days of its origin, like the Sega Genesis. Was it's just something you could pick up and you're like, oh, well, I'll be the yellow ninja. And someone's like, oh, fuck, I like yellow. Well, I guess I'll be the blue ninja. And then you just do.
Well, see, this is the bitch of it, right? I need to stop cussing so much, but I'm not.
You're
like, I was like, I would play this game, I hate it. I was like, you know what? For the first time in a long time, I'm actually thinking about returning a game, right? Because usually I'm the kind of guy who's like, I bought it, you bought it, keep it, it's yours, just do it. But I did not want it. I still have it because I'm not a punk. But like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get online. I'm gonna check out other people's reviews, see if everybody loved it. Everybody loved it, and I'm just sitting like, how? It is way too grindy. It's way too. It's just. It's not nearly as fun.
See, it's like a shift in the gaming market itself. People want those games that you can just play endlessly. That's why there was that flood of like open world adventure games where you look at the map and it looks like someone spilled the contents of a board game on it. And
yeah. And I agree with that.
Like that.
Fun.
But you still have to also have that single player interaction, you know? Like, think about Street Fighter V when that came out. And it didn't have a story. Yeah, no, you could play online matches and grind or whatever the fuck. But no one wanted to. Yeah, so I mean, they took that put it in Mortal Kombat, but actually had a story, it shouldn't be lauded as like a great thing.
Well, like even then, right? Going in the crypt, right? Cool. I remember when you can go in the crypts, and you know if you did a quick Google search, which I get it kind of ruins the fun of the crypt, but like if you know what you want, you can go get it, right?
Yeah. Or even in the days of like Deadly Alliance, you could be smart and you're like, okay, these coordinates are actually initials for something. Boom. Unlocked it.
Fun stuff like that. No, it was all fucking. It's RNG in MK11, or it was when I played.
Oh,
So like,
that
you want to go
hurts.
get something, loot box. Guess what? You don't get what you want. I'm like, I don't care about a fucking. This isn't AFK Arena. I don't want a purple item thing
Mortal
for Katana.
Kombat should not be a gacha game.
That's what I'm saying. And then it had like its little store. Every time you booted it up, it's like, hey, this is your daily deal. Do you want to buy this specific skin? I'm like, no, actually, I don't.
That's awful.
It just ruined it for me.
See,
And I
like,
haven't played MK11 since. Since that one time I had you play, I was like, hey, just let me know. Is this fun? Is this not fun? Am I just being a punk? And you're
you
like,
did
yeah.
do that. Yeah, I like picked it up and it's like, it's like, man, it was like trying to pose a very unfun model kit. It's just like, the best analogy I could think is like when you're walking in a hall and someone is walking the same way you are, and you get that thing where you like cross paths and you're like, okay, I'll move to the left, and then they move to the left, and it's that like 15 times. It's just that it's not aggravating, but it does make you like pinch your forehead like, ah.
Yeah, especially how X was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Like X was just fun. Like you could bring people over. Like you could bring Ben over and beat his ass, and he won't have fun, but I'd have fun beating his ass.
Okay, so the reason we played MKX was because we went to your friend's house when he got it.
Yeah.
Guess what? We didn't know a damn thing about the game. I
Oh, but
didn't
we could
have
pick it up
fun
and play it.
at that sense because it's like I was playing Pokemon on my 3DS, and I learned how to play Melina, R.I.P. Melina in the story, but everyone was like, "Ah, fuck! I want to be able to topple Marcus as Melina," and I'm just like, "I want to play Pokemon though." But that was fun. If it was MKX, it'd be like, okay, one person among us would understand the technical things of it, and everyone else would be like, excuse me, I'm just trying to fuck you.
Well, like when Alexis plays MKX, like she does okay. She does okay. I mean, she's not the best player, but she knows how to spam kicks and punches that annoy the hell out of you.
Me,
and sometimes
specifically.
she wins. I mean, like we just both pick random characters, and every once in a while she beats me. Like, cool.
That's what's
She's not a
fun.
technical player, but it's fun. MK11, like she couldn't do anything. She didn't understand the rate. There's like 3 charge bars for each different thing, and it was way too technical. She hated the game.
Movement did not feel as good at all.
Mm-mm.
Like
The graphics
even
are
just
good,
moving left to right, it felt stiffer.
Everything felt stiffer and slower.
Like,
But that's what pissed me off. All right, okay, so I play Scorpion, right? I'm a big Scorpion fan. Better Sub-Zero, but I love Scorpion. And then it's like you could select the special moves you want, but you can't have the ones you can't. Like I can't make the MKX variation that I wanted, right? That's too many fucking special moves. I can only have 3 on this one, and it's just like I was like, no, give me the. I want to play the character I want to fucking play. Like, why are you gimping me to this shit? You know what I mean? And we had no Onaga. Like, what the hell? I want the fucking Dragon King.
we had no Naga.
No Naga.
That
They talk about him in the intro dialogue. They're like, hey, Onaga's a thing. They're like, I know, but not in this
Yeah.
game. And that's that.
is he Mortal Kombat? Because you're not acting like it. Wow.
It's
Would you?
so disappointing.
what would it take for you to revisit the game, though? And I'm gonna ask that to you, and I also want Ben's opinion on what it would take for him to revisit.
Well, I already know what's going to
Silent
take me to revisit it.
Uh,
I got to upgrade my computer, and I can record it for V2 plays, and that's about it. That's it.
I mean, to revisit it for fun, like what changes would it take?
It would have to be MKX. Just skin to
Okay.
look better.
MKX
Well, I mean, okay, so-
with better graphics and other characters.
I mean, we watched all the... See, that's a bitch of it. Like, if this is MKX, right?
Uh-huh.
You remember when you came over last time and we watched all the cutscenes of Aftermath?
Yeah,
If this is MKX, I would have actually played the bitch.
you would
Instead
have.
of just sitting there for like an hour or 2 hours being like, what's
Yeah.
Shang Tsung up to?
Yeah, why does everyone thinks he's a dick? Oh, it's because he's,
He's
a
a
dick. Okay, I should
it
have
was a-
known.
Yeah, if it played like a little more like MKX, if it was just more fun,
To
man.
handle.
Aftermath
box.
was $40, right?
Huh.
And that's a lot
Ooh.
for a little expansion, but man,
Yeah,
if,
it
it,
is.
if it played like X, I would have played it. I would have
Well,
bought it. I would have had fun.
Right.
Now it just sounds like an old man's like, I don't have time to invest into it. And
yeah,
it's not
how
my
come when you
game.
buy a game, it tells you to buy other shit for the game? I remember the SNES days where you could plug something in, and the way you got extra content was you earned it.
Well, I mean, MKX, MK11, you can earn it, but
I know.
it's just super grindy. Like, I don't want to do every tower. I don't want to do the fucking tutorial where you teach me super technical shit. I mean, yeah, I'd like to get better at the game, but not. Man, those combos are hard. Like, what the fuck?
So Ben, what would it take for you to revisit Final Fantasy? The subscription. But what would it take for you to revisit Silent Hill 4: The Room? I think when I said Final Fantasy, I was talking about myself. Super grindy.
To revisit, huh?
Yeah, to play it and actually have fun. For
Would you
it to
record
be
it for
the
V2 plays?
experience. Well, stop
I'm just
soliciting
asking, I'm
that.
curious. Hey, shameless plug. We got a
Okay.
channel no one watches.
I mean,
We got
I
two channels
would-
no one watches.
If feasibly we had a way to record it, I would record it. Same with like any Silent Hill. But for it to come back just to play it for fun,
Yeah, for it to be that experience you hoped it was going to be.
I would need the character to be better. Honestly.
Even if the
Okay.
whole world setup was the same, if the character was better, you'd have a
Yeah.
better time.
Because it's like with 4, the end game for the antagonist is to make all these sacrifices to make Silent Hill a thing again.
Outside of this guy's apartment.
Make Silent Hill great again.
Like, I can understand, what they were doing. They're trying something new. I'm okay with the weapons breaking. I'm okay with the enemies being dumb. Okay with the escort. I hate escort quests.
But if the main character, just made you want to play the game more.
It's so, like, disillusioned. Like, there's a couple things. If they could do puzzle and combat difficulty differently, because you can't lower, like, one and raise the other. They're both the same throughout the entire game. Every other Silent Hill, they could be different.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
And if combat was combat, not dumbbat.
Yeah.
So
That's
I got
fair.
a question. If
Yeah.
Konami decided to make video games again, and they and they did what Capcom's doing, and they just completely remade the room, how exactly would you want to see it?
I would like to see it as... I would like it to start in the room again. Okay? I would like it if, like, suddenly a portal opened up in your wall, like it does in the room. I would like it if you didn't have to go back to the room ever again, though. until the very end of the game where you go through a door and suddenly, this is my apartment. Whoa.
Wait a what if, since, that game was made before smartphones, weird gimmicky game BS aside, what if you had your smartphone and that lets you access your room as a save spot? I think that would ruin it.
I
You know what?
feel
I think it'd be
like
dope. All right, no, go ahead. I'll
I feel like with the smartphone idea, because Silent Hill things have to be like grounded a little bit. So using a smartphone just appear in your room suddenly, is a
Not to
little.
appear in your room, like, you know how like a lot of people's smartphones have access to like home security stuff.
Oh,
I guess maybe that's asking too much.
if it was like a house, I could understand that. Not so
Yeah.
much an apartment.
Well,
Okay.
okay, I got an idea for you, Ben.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if, let's say they made Silent Hill the room, and like you never technically leave the room, right? Like you're always in the room, but they made the room kind of like PT was, where it's just trippy as fuck, and you got to figure shit out, but you never technically leave the confines of the room. It just changes all the time. I think that would be dope as hell, because then it
something
actually
along
be
the lines
room.
of The Evil Within, where it's like, okay, you'll open the door to like your fucking bathroom, and all of a sudden, wow, this sure looks like a demon world.
Well, it's like, yeah,
But it's
but
still
like you're
technically
figuring out
your room.
everything only in that apartment room. You know what I mean? Because like in the PT trailer, you kept like in that loop and shit was different every time. Like imagine if that was the room. You know what I mean? Like you're in a decent sized apartment, guaranteed, and like you're figuring shit out, and like it's slowly like going to shit in the apartment. Like weird shit's happening. You know that I think that'd be kind of neat.
You miss PT, that's fair.
I do miss PT, but I think the room, especially the name The Room, like you would think,
Yeah.
boom, this place is what's fucked up.
Yeah, not just that it's a hub, because then it's Silent Hill for a room.
Yeah,
Well, so like that could work because Konami advertised that Henry is an introvert. He doesn't like going outside. He doesn't
Yeah.
like people. So it could very much work like that. It's just the room, the apartment isn't big enough for something like that.
Yeah.
As much as I would love for it, it's just not.
Well, I mean, in Resident Evil 2, the police station was like, what, 3 rooms? And then in the remake, it's a police station?
I mean, like you can make it pretty. I mean, there was like a PT knockoff where it's just in one house and that's all it is. Like if they made it like a condo, like a 3-bedroom condo, like you could do some shit with that. And maybe like you feel like you're escaping, but that's just like the fucking Silent Hill just messing with your mind. You know what I mean? And you're always like never technically. I don't know. I think that'd be fun. That's just me though. That's just
That
me.
would be. And then, I mean, if we're on the topic of PT, it could end like how PT ended. It's like, well, maybe you go outside, not necessarily because Henry wants to, but just to know that he has the option to leave, get groceries or something. We want PT. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're saying. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Well, like, I don't want this to be crazy. I've got some stuff I need to handle, some games I want to play right now, but it's interesting to me that all of the games that we found disappointing were pretty much for different reasons, you know?
Yeah.
Like mine, For Honor, going back to it was my personal hang-ups. No time, no it was hard to learn for me. Not that For Honor was a bad game. I was disappointed in it because it was my situation. seems like Grim, and you can feel free to say no, that's not how it is, or yes, that is how it is. His was a story based, and then
It's like it fucked
you
with the lore of
you
Silent Hill.
with Mortal Kombat was a strict gameplay and like
And story.
marketing decision.
It was like everything in MK11 that pissed me off.
Yeah, like what was it? Return of the Jedi, or whichever one. Episode X in Star Wars.
Oh god, the Rise of Skywalker.
Oh God,
That was 9. That was 9.
Just sound. Oh God.
I'd play. You know, if I had to choose between watching that movie again and playing MK11, I'd play 11.
Okay.
With the room, right?
Yeah.
I do have a problem with the story. I really do. But there are some good points in the story, lore-wise. Like, they have nods to, like, previous games. Like, the apartment you're in is owned by the second game's protagonist's dad. You know? It's like they have nods to the other games. It's just your character's so disillusioned from everything that it just takes you out of all of it.
Yeah.
It's like if your character was honestly freaking out, like trying to help a dude who's on fire at an orphanage, screaming for help, and your character's actually trying to help, I'd be like, oh fuck, alright, what the fuck? What happened?
But this character. So does he even help the dude on fire?
No, he stands there and just watches him.
So he's like freaking Mario in Super Mario Sunshine with the Delfino that's running back and forth, and you're like, oh, do you want me to spray you with my water backpack?
I mean,
And he's
like,
like,
he kind of,
help!
he kind of like, he looks taken back, and he kind of like takes a step back, but he doesn't like say anything. He doesn't go like, oh
he
fuck.
doesn't want to catch on fire. Like,
Yeah, but the problem is you're next to things that you could throw on the dude to try and put him out. You could attempt to help him. You know, it's like the fire isn't gonna instantly move to you if you go over and you start patting him. You might burn yourself, but you're not gonna like instantly light
fire is
yourself
not
ablaze.
contagious like that.
It's just like he has poor comedy. He's dumb. Right? It's like you see your landlord, the Sunderland guy, and you're like, help, fuck, help. You're banging on your door, and he's all like, oh, you damn introvert. What the fuck you doing in there? And he leaves. It's like, thanks, I guess.
That might be Henry. Bad
like-
comedy.
And then they,
Want to leave his room. I'm Henry.
it's
Oh,
like in
jeez.
the story, you hear all these different character names. Like, you have a reporter, you have your landlord, a few other people. And at like the end of the game, you're listening to the radio, and it's like, your landlord was found dead. This reporter was found dead. All these other people were found dead. It's like, why? When? They were all alive like an hour ago. What happened? It's like, don't
Silent Hill
report on that if you don't
Man.
see it. It's like,
Imagine real quick turning on the news and hearing your landlord is dead. It's like, how do you... What? I know it probably mentioned his name, but I'm just thinking, like...
Just your
You
landlord.
specifically, your landlord. You, yes, you, watching. He's dead.
see, with like Silent Hill, that would be great if they did that though, because you'd be like, "Whoa, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Well, it's because Silent Hill's horror is supposed to be meta.
Am I?"
Yeah.
It's like, does this man know what's going on with me? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
I guess, like, all of these games do have good points, though. Like, to be fair, the For Honor story is fucking amazing. I loved it when I actually played it. There's that bit where you're playing as a bunch of Vikings and they storm, like, a samurai place. And they're like, we tried to get information out of them, and they're like, what'd they say? And they're like, I don't speak Japanese. And it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But I just didn't like the game.
I hear you.
I mean, I have problems with all three of the games that we talked about. Like, for Mortal Kombat, my big thing was, like, the characters. Because X just seemed like they had more people, right?
Yeah.
Like, they had Kenshi, and they had his son, and they had all these people. And then in the next one, it's like, where are they? They're not dead.
Well, Ferritor was, but
Well, so was Molina. But it's like,
a low blow.
Yeah, it was a low blow. But yeah. Well, this is our first installment of games that disappointed the heck out of us. We might do another one, but judging on our activity, it's probably gonna be another 11 months. We'll find out. Any closing statements from you, Marcus?
I hope that Grim gets his Skype account back. And he's not just goo next time after 11 months. But, like the games you like, but be open to admitting the flaws is my philosophy.
Neat. Goo, what's yours? Goopire DIY.
A DIY, do it yourself.
I don't have any damn words to say to these people afterwards. I don't know what to say.
At least hope that you get your Skype back, right?
Fuck no. Microsoft
All right.
ain't got no code.
You should make one called Goopire DIY. I would love it.
Yeah. Maybe
No.
next time.
I hope that when people play games, they look at them objectively and see what is inherently wrong with games and can honestly give a good feedback to it.
Yeah. See, ain't gonna
Okay,
change
well.
otherwise. And what about you, illustrious
hoping-
leader?
I'm hoping that we actually get some comments on here from Sonic Fox and from other people saying, "Oh my God, you guys are retarded. These games are great," and they rip it to shit in the comments. That's what I hope.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I look
got-
forward to hearing Hecatopter's a filthy casual who doesn't play competitively.
And Goopire's just Goopire.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear that Goopire is a fucker who is hating on a franchise
That he loves.
that he
But
loves,
hates.
that I hate. I love it so much that I can know when a game in it is terrible.
That's awful. How dare you?
Yeah. And I hope people check out our two channels. Or
Please.
not. That's fine. I'm
Are-
going to upload this anyway.
Are we gonna link them? Are you just gonna tell them to check out our channels without?
It'll probably be in the description.
They'll be in the description, probably, unless I forget.
Yeah.
If not, it's in our channel. You go to our channel and you see the other channel.
Oh yeah,
Look for
our
the channel.
Yeah, fuck it.
Feel free to take 11 months to do it. Whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
We're so great at YouTube.
stop.
But all right, everyone, you have a wonderful day, and whenever you watch this, be sure to give us a comment about how we suck at life. All right? Take it easy.
Peace.